After the sparkle of gold dust had settled and the sun once again shone on the island of Sodor, Thomas and Percy were enjoying life as usual. But what if I told you the story wasn't quite over? That beyond the tracks, was a forgotten railway with secrets older than the magic railroad itself? Well, buckle up, because this tale might just knock your buffers off. It all began on a misty morning in Tidmouth Sheds. Thomas was polishing his blue paint, and Percy was humming a tune about mailbags. Suddenly, a strange signal near the old quarry flashed, blinking purple and gold. Thomas: "Percy, have you ever seen that signal before?" Percy: "No, and it's blinking like it's got hiccups." Curious and a bit bored, they decided to follow the flickering light. As they puffed down the old, unused branch line, the trees grew thicker and the air smelled like cinnamon and steam. They heard whispers in the wind. "To find what's lost, follow the frost." Thomas giggled nervously. Sounds like something Lady would say. The tracks ended in front of an enormous mirror. Yes, a mirror, in the middle of the woods. It shimmered with gold dust and sparkled like Lady's rails. Percy touched it with his buffer and whoosh! The mirror sucked them both in with a flash. On the other side was Sodor, but mirrored. The skies were upside down. Harold the helicopter wore sunglasses and surfed clouds, and Cranky the crane was smiling. Smiling. Thomas whispered, "Percy, we've entered the other magic railway." Percy gulped. "I think I left my bravery back in the sheds." In this wacky world, they met engines with names like Bop, a dancing diesel, Whistlewick, a tea-brewing steam engine, and Sir Topham Mirror Hat, who wore rainbow-colored suits and moonwalking boots. Mirror Hat declared, "To return, you must ride the wobble loop." Thomas and Percy exchanged glances. Percy: "I wobble when I'm nervous. Does that count?" The wobble loop was a roller coaster of tracks that twisted in loop-de-loops and ran upside down over chocolate rivers and jellybean trees. Percy screamed. Thomas laughed. A duck wearing goggles saluted them as they sped by. At the end of the maze wobble loop, they met Old Sparkle, the engine of time, rusted yet magical. He coughed out clouds of gold dust and told them, "This railway was built to balance the magic in yours. Without it, Lady would lose her shine." Realizing the importance, Thomas and Percy vowed to protect the other magic railway. Old Sparkle gave them a tiny vial of gold dust. "One puff of this, and you'll return home. But remember, visit again before the balance shifts." Back through the mirror they went. The blinking signal was gone. The trees were normal again. Percy checked his paint. Still green. Thomas winked. Back at Tidmouth Sheds, they didn't speak much about it, until Diesel asked why Thomas had jelly beans in his funnel. Thomas smiled. "Let's just say, not all tracks lead where you expect." And that vial of gold dust, it now sat on a special shelf in Knapford Station, next to a sign that read, "Emergency Adventures Only." And so, Thomas and Percy discovered a world few engines ever see. A railway of echoes, laughter, and upside-down skies. But sometimes, the real magic is having a best friend to share the journey with. Until next time, keep puffing forward.